Hi, everybody. Welcome again to this class, Finding Rest in Meditation by Longchenpa. Main body of the teaching has three categories. First, preliminary practice. Second, the main section. Third, the concluding section. First, preliminary practice, in which Longchenpa divided into 3 or 4 preliminary, 2 outer preliminary practices, 2 inner preliminary practices we discussed. And then the main section of the teaching again has 3, right? Teaching about finding rest in bliss, finding rest in clarity, finding rest in no thought. So among these 3, finding rest in bliss, with the means of using the essence or drops we discuss. I hope by now you at least have a clear understanding of the practice. And today we're going to discuss about the luminosity practice with the use of wind. Now, if you look at it generally, all practice of meditations we do, one experience certain level of bliss, certain level of clarity or luminosity, certain level of no thoughts. That's just the quality of one's meditation. I hope you already have experienced such qualities in your meditations. And then now, what is it that here Longchenpa's teaching focus on these 3 qualities of meditations with the use of essence, wind, and channel. Here is more profound than just the three qualities that I want you to understand. Here, the Vajrayana practitioners, their ultimate goal, so to speak, is to be awakened in the state of three kayas. Dharmakaya, Sambhogakaya, Nirvanakayas. So here, why Vajrayana practitioners practice these three is to be awakened in these three kayas, the ultimate state or three aspects of ultimate state of Buddhahood. With the use of subtle essence, achieving great bliss. That great bliss on the first level, of course, has to do with bliss. When we talk about nectars descending through four chakras, we talk about four blisses: joy, supreme joy or bliss, and then joy, beyond bliss, and then inherent bliss. Beyond bliss here means then we are not talking about the bliss that we understand, that the word bliss cannot, or that we are understanding our understanding of bliss, that is beyond bliss. So with that bliss, Vajrayana practitioners, the end result, so to speak, is Nirmanakaya state or quality of Buddhahood. And then luminosity. Luminosity, first level, is of course the clarity that in meditation we must have. Two qualities of all meditation. What we need is clarity and stability. That's universal, so to speak. All meditators should have experienced that. Now here, with the use of wind, achieving clarity or luminosity is again more profound, going beyond the simple vividness, clarity aspect, beyond that, and ultimately attaining Sambhogakaya state or quality of Buddhahood. That is the end result. And then, with the use of channel, no thought, again, no thought is universal meditative qualities. Here, no thought, sky-like nature of mind is to be realized. Empty, boundless. And here, Vajrayana practitioners, with the use of these methods, attaining the Dharmakaya quality or state of Buddhahood. Okay, I want you to think that here we are not just talking about blissful state, clarity aspect, or no thought aspect, But of course, all these things, part of it, but going beyond that, the end result is not just simply to feel good or have some clarity in your mind or reduce your afflictive emotions, have less thought, but to be awakened the state of Buddhahood, attaining the ultimate qualities, three qualities of Buddhahood, Sambhogakaya, Dharmakaya, Nirmanakaya. That qualities attaining is, of course, not the end result, in fact, is for the benefit of all motherly sentient beings. All motherly sentient beings to be awakened to that three states. This Vajrayana practitioner's aim is for that. Much profound, right? Okay, so that is the generally one should keep in mind. And then today, what we're going to talk about, the clarity, luminosity practice with the use of wind. We have the book, page 20. Page 20, okay. It reads, the second comes the introduction through the skillful means of luminosity. First train in the preliminaries, as above. Okay. Let me first overview this. Clarity or luminosity practice using that method has to do with wind. Now, wind is one aspect of subtle body, right? Now, as far as wind is concerned, I hope I made it clear last time. Wind, we talk about outer wind, that as we know, is breathing. That's quite simple. Inner wind, I talk about how all this functioning of the body has to do with the inner wind. Right now I'm talking, seeing my image on this computer screen. It all has to do with inner wind, as well as more subtle winds we talk about in 5 color, element colors: white, red, blue, yellow, green, like that. So you keep that in mind. Now, here, when we practice the luminosity, we are talking about harnessing this wind that we inherently have. And with that, then achieve luminosity. And from there, then come to the realization of Rigpa, or ultimately Sambhogakaya state. Okay. Now wind. In this practice, 2 winds are focused. The outer wind, the breathing, is used to draw in the subtle elements, subtle winds. Take out also the subtle elements. This practice, of course, begins with first clearing out, purifying the stale wind or the winds, unwanted winds, or winds that carry the negative emotions. Expelling those winds are used to settle about this outer wind, the breathing. And then inner winds. Inner wind, 5 colors. Innermost settled winds in these 5 colors. So in this practice, visualize these 5 colors inside, outside, to enhance the clarity or luminosity. In this practice, we use the inner wind, 5 colors. Now, as far as 5 colors are concerned, in Vajrayana, we use these 5 colors quite often. As you know, in the temples, in the monasteries, 5 colors commonly used. Thing. The reason behind this is that in Vajrayana teachings, as to when or how sentient beings wander in samsara, how begin the samsara. In the Vajrayana teachings, this inherent pure state has 2 qualities. That is empty, sky-like nature, no boundaries, and then luminosity aspect, clarity aspect. So these 2 aspects of reality, these 2 aspects of ultimate reality is realized in the practice of Dzogpa Chenpo, the great perfections, so-called texture, the cutting through practice. Main aim is for the realization of empty essence, sky-like nature. Toggle practice, which aims for realization of luminosity, clarity aspect of this reality. Like that. Dzogchen toggle and texture teachings and practices. So profound. So profound. In a way, it is so sad that so many teachings have received, tried to practice, but is still not having or attain this certainty in our mind. Now, here, when we talk about how samsara begins, here, from that luminosity aspect of reality, it's a dynamic energy, so to speak, the radiance of the nature, ultimate nature, first appear into 5 colors, right? 5 colors. white, red, blue, green, yellow, like that, as you always see, these 5 colors. Of course, what we actually see in the color and at the, to the very profound level, mind's ultimate natures, radiance, a little bit different in their intensity and subtleties. But anyway, 5 colors. Then sentient beings, not knowing these 5 colors, sub-radiant, not the separate entity of the true nature. Not knowing that, then that not knowing, the ignorance. From that, the delusions, now perceiving something separate, the 5 colors, then the true nature. When that delusion happens, then outer 5 colors, outer 5 colors, and from that, then 5 elements came into existence. From white, water, red, fire, like that. So that's how we talk about sentient beings, beginning stages, how delusion took over, and all how samsara manifested from the beginning stages. And then the samsara continues. That is a general understanding one should have, especially when we talk about 5 colors. Settled form of all elements, 5 colors. Now here, the wind aspect, inner wind or settled wind remains in 5 colors. So that 5 colors, in fact, no different than the 5 elements essence. So here, what we're going to talk about, 5 colors, inner 5 colors. With the use of that inner 5 colors, the essence of elements or essence of wind, use that inner color and the inner color or inner wind, and then outer wind, using these two, achieving luminosity. Okay. Now, let me let me explain the practice, and then we do a short meditation together. Okay. Here, what we first do is with this practice, first step is, of course, recommend, in fact, 4 preliminaries practice first, and then in actual practice, the 7 posture Vairocana. That's how we sit. And then first exhaling 3 times through nostril. So when we do that, before doing that, in fact, you first visualize your body, as we discussed last time. Transparent, see-through, and then in the center, of the body, central channel, 3 channels, and then chakras, or visualize. And then we call actually Doji Kutsu Vajra fist, actually like that. Here, you know. Are you following me? Okay. And then we expel from nostril 3 times, together 3 times. Left, right, together. When we exhale 3 times, what we have to visualize is that from left nostrils, as we exhale, all the stale airs coming out, as well as the air that which are basis of affective emotions like attachments, desire, or usually with duksum, okay, attachment, desire, exhaling. Because after all, these practitioners need to achieve the clarity. These practitioners need to purify, first take out the unwanted winds so that you remain in the pure wind, refined wind, so that you can achieve the luminosity. Sounds like a plan? Like that. And then from right nostril, all again, stale airs, winds, likewise relating to hatred or anger, whatever air that we discussed last time. Air, wind, the settled winds are the ones that carries all our minds, like the horse carrying on their backs, horse riders, like that. We talk about it, right? Here, you keep that in your mind. And then together from nostrils, both nostrils, 3 times exhaling. This time, all delusion, ignorance related are expelled. So this practice is not only this time, of course, as a practitioners, particularly early in the morning when you wake up, do this. This is recommended. I hope you will do this. I request, I encourage you to do this. When you wake up, sit upright if you can, 7 posture Bharachana. If not, then just sit straight and do this 9 rounds of breathing. But at the same time, somehow in Vajrayana, in these kind of practices, particularly recommend to think like that, expelling not only the stale, unwanted winds, but also all the winds that which carries affective emotions, all the defilements, all the obscurations now clear out. And then in detailed teaching, we talk about breathing in through the other from nostril, from 3 channel, once in and 1 out, all detailed. That's not that necessary right now. Okay, that's one aspect. And then in the actual practice, let us first actually read this. Okay. Then imagine the 3 channels, it says, in such a way that Ro means Roma, and Changma from left and right channel have lower ends that curves and penetrate the center channel, right? Clear. The upper ends reach the nostril aperture, it's clear. As you thrice exhale stale air, all illness, evil forces, sins and obscurations are expelled. That's what is discussed. And as you slowly inhale thrice, the still wall and its moving contents. Okay, now that's another I need to explain. Okay. Next step. First step is just clearing out, purifying. Now the main practice. In the main practice, first important to visualize in the center channel at the heart level, size of a thumb size of light. In the teaching, Longchenpa says you visualize 5-color sphere of light in the center channel, right? That sphere, 5-color light, is the essence of 5 elements or essence of the inner wind, subtle wind. Okay. That you visualize at the heart level. And then what you do, visualize, is then you visualize this outer phenomena, all the, we call container and contained beings, basically all phenomena that one thing of, basically turn into, meld into, or turn into these 5 essence, 5 essence of the elements, all into 5 colors. Now, most important thing here, keep in mind, is not just a color, but as much as one can, the colors are bright, brilliant, immaculate. There's something that one can just thinking will brighten your mind, illuminate your mind. In a Vajrasattva practice, we say that it is said that in the instruction, when you visualize Vajrasattva, you visualize Vajrasattva's enlightened body, white in color, brilliant in color, like as if the permanent all snow-capped big mountain snow-capped mountain shine from all directions, 100 suns or 100,000 suns shining to that snow mountain, how brilliant and clear it would be. So, of course, there's no such thing that word can convey. Of course, it depends on our own capacity of our visualization. But the whole point here is not to something visualize just a color by color, but as much as one can bright, that which illuminates our kind of dull mind. After all, this practice is practice of luminosity, awaken to that luminosity, brighter color is visualized. Now, all things turn into 5-color, brighter color. Okay. And as you breathe in, you think that this, 5-color now comes through your 2 nostrils, as much as one can visualize, and go through down the navel, below navel, joins to that penetrate to that center channel, right? And come up and penetrate, dissolve into the heart where you visualize the 5-color light, 5-color. Here sounds too simple, 5-color, 5 essence of the elements, essence of inner 5 winds, subtle winds, visualize, you dissolve into that. And then you, as much as one can, dissolve into that, try to remain into that bright, intense, shining, that bright ball of light. Okay, so that's one aspect. And then Longchenpa says, in order to receive blessings of the Buddhas, it's also important to visualize all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas you think, and they also turn into 5 colors, brighter colors. And again, you from your nostril, as you breathe in, all come through your nostril and dissolve into that ball of light at your heart level. That's the practice. Remain in that bright color. Okay. Are we clear? I'm not sure you have me explaining well. Okay. Now the next level is then, as you breathe out. Now here we call, Longchenpa says, base breathing. Base breathing, a little bit too much information here, but Longchenpa we call. Don't have to go to in detail, but simple form of base breathing. That is just your lower part. Breathe in, your lower part. Pumchen means you actually vase, the container, like the vase. You call Pumba, vase, right? So you imagine it's there, you know, you breathe. As you breathe in, you from lower abdomen, you pull, it's pull up. And then as you breathe in, again, you breathe down and then hold below, around the navel level below, you holding that base breathing, base Lungpumba we call. And then Pumchen, Pumchung, there's lots of story, but that's again, more of a yogic exercise practice. Okay, and here Longchenpa says, as you breathe in, you breathe in this brilliant 5-color light, and then dissolve into the sphere of light, 5-color light, you visualize at your heart level. And Lung Pumche, the basic level of base breathing. Then slowly breathing out. Not fully breathing out, but gently breathing out. If you visualize that all the stale winds again, all this, dullness of your, meditative experience all goes out. Okay. That's one. And then, second part is then, from this sphere of light, shine brilliant 5-color light through channels, through chakras, and shine forth to all the phenomena outside. So now these 5-color completely fill up this whole universe as far as one can think of. And then remain in there. The bright 5-color everything into 5 bright color. So remaining in that one practice. First is absorbing, second is expanding and remaining there. That's one practice. And then the last stage, practice is now not to necessarily thinking, visualizing 5 different colors, but simply experience the vivid, the luminous mind, the end result, the luminous mind, which is simply remaining that. Okay. Now let us go through this. Let's see. And as you slowly inhale thrice, the still wall and its moving contents melting into light, 5 color lights, are drawn into the nostrils, passing thence through Ro and Chang, left and right. They penetrate the center channel and then dissolve into a thumb size orb of light within the very center of your heart. Okay. Concentrate on this as long as you are able. This one part, right? Join the upper and lower wings together. As you exhale, retain a little air, as I explained, of the base breathing. Okay. To inhale and exhale gently is of great importance. That's one. Second step, all the excellent moreover of the Buddhas and the exalted beings melt into your heart. All the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, blessings, melt into your heart. Do not wander from this state. Remain in that again. Through this method, there will manifest a state of mind that is limpid, bright, and still. Okay, now the last aspect. Imagine that the radiance increase from the light within your heart, which setting the 4 chakras and your body all blaze and spilling out outer wall outward, fill the wall with light. Last one, right? This, if you meditate both day, meditate both day and night, within a few days time, your dream will stop and you will see these luminous experiences. Okay. What is outside within? Outside and within, all will be pervaded by 5 color lights, because your mind is focused on. Okay, that's just explaining. Okay, the last one. The light then gather back into your heart and is slowly lessen in intensity until your mind rests in the state of emptiness. Not focusing on anything now, the last stage. Your mind rests in an empty, clear, and limpid state, a luminosity by nature free from all elaboration manifests. So now introducing that nature, such is primal wisdom, luminous and empty, uncontrived. It is the fundamental mode of being of the natural great perfections. Okay. I'm not sure how clear it might be for you, but anyway, let us together practice. Wherever you are sitting, please sit straight, at least. If you can, hold your hand like this. Visualize this body transparent, see through. Now in the center, visualize 3 channels. With their respective colors. And chakras. Now let us do 9 rounds of breathing. As you breathe out, you think first all the attachment, desire related. Second, all the anger related. Third, when we breathe together from both nostrils, all the delusions, or basically exhale with their wings, as well as all the illness, discomfort, basically the wind or air which carries any obscurations, defilements, completely exhale. Okay. Your right hand blocking nostril 3 times. Exhale. Left hand. Exhale together 3 times. All ignorance related gone. Now think all the stale defilement carrying winds all purified. Now visualize at your heart level in the center channel, the sphere of light, thumb size orb of light, which is in 5 color. The inner essence, settled wind, 5 winds, inner 5 winds, or the essence of 5 elements. Very bright, as much as one can visualize. Now visualize this outer phenomena that one see, hear, think is all melt or transform into 5 color, bright, illuminating, simply thinking, illuminating 5 color. Now as one breathe in, these 5 colors come through one's 2 nostrils. Here, think about the base breathing. Breathe in first, hold, and breathe out slowly, gently. 5 color. As one breathe in, come through one's nostril. Go through these 2 sides channels. Go down below navel level. Enter into the center channel. Go up and dissolve into the thumb sides orb of light, 5 color. Now just focus on this sphere of light at one's heart level. Bright, shining, illuminating. Just focus on this. Now one visualize Buddhas and Bodhisattvas above in the sky as much as one can visualize. Now they also dissolve into 5 bright colors And as one breathe in, they also, these 5 colors come through one's nostril and enter into the center channel, dissolve into the sphere of light. Now just focus on the sphere of light at one's heart level. Now this bright 5-color sphere expands to all the channels and chakras, go beyond, reach out to all external space as much as one can think of, all now into this 5-color, bright, immaculate, illuminating, all in 5-color. Just visualize that and remain in that. Now, last step, don't visualize particular in color. Just abide in this luminous mind's nature, the clarity, the vividness, the wakefulness. Okay, that is how the practice for attaining luminosity. Remember, using the outer wind breathing in and exhaling, purifying and breathing in the light, expanding the light. But actual visualization of the 5-color is 5 inner winds, right? Keep that. So what is the practice of luminosity? Luminosity is using the outer and inner winds, then attaining luminosity. Okay. Number 14, it reads, as you grow used to such a meditation, poor experience will manifest. You will think that what appears is elusive, transparent, unimpeding, Light will fill your day and night. Your clear and limpid mind will be unmoved by thought and free from the duality of grasper and the grasp, the duality, right? Knowledge will come surging from within. Now, the quality of the, this practice. Through increased habituations, clairvoyant knowledge will arise. You will develop power of vision, receiving extremal objects, about perceiving extremal objects, even when they are concealed by other things, external objects. You will acquire the power of working miracles. Of course, as we talk about, I was just reminded that last airbender, here the idea is inner winds. We say inner winds, these winds manipulated, overpowered by these practitioners. Winds bring into the center channel 5-color light, inner settle wind. Then these practitioners can have so much power over the external elements. Okay, like that. The introduction to the nature of mind by means of luminosity is the very essence of the most profound instructions. Okay, that is one very important practice. Now let us go to the next one, number 16. Next practice is practice of no thought, right? Achieving no thought. Okay. Third, through the skillful means of no thought, the nature of the mind is introduced. Meditate as previously on the preliminaries, same. Then implement the 3 points of the actual practice. Okay. Okay. Now let me say a few words first. The last among 3, the last one, no thought or practice. Very, very important. Why? Because all sentient beings wander in samsara because of thought, so much thought. Lost in past thought, future thought, and not being in present moment. Basically, in thought, sentient beings are lost. And then, in order to liberate sentient beings, what we have to practice is practice of no thought, that which reduce the intensity of our thought. We always talk about monkey-like mind that restlessly wandering all over. Something to reduce that as a no thought. Now, one important thing I want to share with you here is that what does it mean, no thought? Just simply absence of thought doesn't mean anything. You simply enter into an ignorant state. It reminds me we have some cats in Pemaku, and they walk into your room, and then sometime on my bed, and then the purring, making the sound. And I used to wonder what they may be thinking. Well, probably nothing. They're not thinking anything. Simply no thought. So like that, it's space out, as we say. Something, absence of thought, has nothing to do with the idea of no thought here. Here, what does it mean then, no thought? No thought, let me give first one example. Like Longchenpa, in his other teachings, he emphasized on the Dzogchen practice of living things in their simplicity. In these teachings, ocean-like living things in their simplicity, which means that for instance, when you go to the ocean, especially at nighttime, and moonlight, and stars in clear night out, what you see in the ocean is all the reflections, moon, stars, everything reflected. But everything as the nature of ocean. Those reflections do nothing to these oceans. They simply beautify the oceans. Okay, that is the example. Now, practitioners, as a human being, as this mind, as long as this ordinary mind continue, and then thought arises, one after another. When thought arises, can one let this thought simply beautify the mind and not just chase after that thought and surrender to that thought and being lost? So what is true practitioners, meditators do, simply watch the thought comes and goes, remain in the state of sky-like nature. Thoughts are like the clouds. Sounds so quite simple talking about it. But anyway, that is the practice. Not swept by this thought, simply remaining in this thought. Just beautifying this mind, but not letting or swept by these thoughts. So that is the, practice. Limpid, vivid mind. Let thoughts comes, but let thought go. That's the way it is. Can you remain like that? If one can do, then that is the, good meditators. Another word we use is naked awareness. See, naked awareness. Again, naked awareness, simply without the damage done to this mind. All this thought, whatever there comes, there goes, they just remain. Without moving the sky, the cloud comes, that's the way it is, comes and goes. While clouds are drifting around, they simply beautify the sky. They do not take the clouds anywhere, sky anywhere. Sky remains sky. When the reflections are reflected in the ocean, they simply reflected, going nowhere. Oceans going nowhere. Simply beautify the oceans. Now, Dzogchen practitioners particularly says that when the reflections arises in the oceans, doesn't matter what reflections it appears. if it's moon reflection or stars reflections, or your image is reflected in the ocean, doesn't matter. They're all in the nature of the ocean, water. Nothing really matters. So what does no thought means? No thought, simply you don't think that it's simply absence of thought. But of course, ultimately speaking, again, here I have to make also sure, ultimately speaking, exhaustion of this ordinary mind. When this happens, yes, this ordinary thinking will be exhausted in the state of Dhammakaya mind. But that is the ultimate state. We call Chunik Sesa, the four visions of Toggle practice. Direct experience of the reality, increasing experience of the reality, and then adornment of the reality, and then last is the exhaustion of reality, all the phenomena into the natural reality. So that is the end result. But again, no thought, simply do not understand or perceive as the space out kind of state of mind, but mind that do not let swept by this thought simply remain in its own state. Does it make sense? In its own state. Okay. Now this no thought practice, here Longchenpa gives in a 3 steps. Okay. It says propulsion, focusing, and then a refinement, the 3 steps, the 3 kinds of practice. The first one, okay, practice of propulsion is as follows. Imagine that within your heart, your mind rests, luminous by nature, as a letter R, or else a ball of light, the size of your own thumb. Then forcefully reciting Ha 121 times, imagine that the letter is projected straight up through your crown, higher and higher into the sky above, until it lost its sight. Relax your mind and body deeply and remain in meditative evenness. So what happened after that? The stream of thought will, in that instant, cease, and you will rest within a state that cannot be expressed in thought or word, an experience beyond the reach of thought in which there's nothing to be seen. Okay. Since last year, something happened, so I have to sometimes use my reading class. Just simply getting old, I guess. Okay. Here, no thought. Practice of no thought, very important. 3 aspects. First is propelling one's thought. So this practice is rather quite simple. Again, sit in meditation posture. Visualize this 3 central channel. Here letter R, or sphere of light. Most of the time sphere of light. So what you visualize is your thought, really monkey-like thoughts that jumping all around. That very discursive thought. Now you visualize that sphere of light at your heart level in the central channel. then simply say ha. First, forcefully one, that which kind of lift this. You think that this sphere of light, your thoughts gather here. Here's your thought. Powerful practice, actually very, very powerful practice. This kind of visualizations, very, very much impact to your mind. Usually, I always say that what we think matters, imagine matters. Yes, it matters, everything. So once you think that, visualize that, and say ha, move up, and slowly say, ha 21 times, and goes through your central channel, pass your crown, and go up in the sky, and slowly going up, and smaller until it disappears. After 21 times ha, it disappears. So that is the practice. This will bring you to the no thoughts. Simple practice, but very effective. Very, very effective. Okay. And then next one. Next one is focusing. Focusing has to do with now simply focusing to one's empty, luminous essence of mind. Okay, here it is. Now comes the stage of focusing awareness. With your back turned to the sun, set your eyes upon the limpid sky, stay still and let your breath relax until its movement you no longer feel. And from within the state of no thought, freedom from elaboration will arise. A meditative experience of space-like emptiness will come to birth. Here, focusing awareness. This practice has to do, this practitioner use the sky very much so. For me, this practice I came to know with the teaching of His Holiness Dujung Rinpoche. And Dujung Rinpoche's Kondo commentary in one volume contains lots of instructions. Within that called Namkha Sumchuki Dhamma, which means the instruction on threefold sky practice. Very, very powerful. That simply sky gazing practice. Simple. Not a, very profound, but simple instructions. That is when you, here it says gaze back the sun and then just face to the, sky in front, right? But basically you focus, you just sit in meditation posture and breathe naturally. Of course, this is very important. And then just simply focus in the sky. That's it. Empty sky-like nature. When we talk about Dhammakaya, empty essence, what is the closest example you can bring is the sky. A sky which knows no limit. Spaciousness. What is the example? Sky. Openness. What is the example? Sky. So practitioners also use this sky. Gaze simply into the sky. And when that gazing into the sky, we call external sky, threefold sky here means. Gazing into the sky, just simply gaze, not much here who gaze, to be gaze out there, just simply gaze into the sky. When that gazing happening, when you gaze into the empty, open, boundless sky, that provokes you the inner sky of no thought. It inspires you to become free of thought. That free of thought is inner sky. The outer sky, using the outer sky, inspire or generate the inner sky of no thought. So when one experiences this inner and outer sky, continues, and then something profound. The secret sky, the empty essence of the mind, will reveal to you. So that is the practice generally, quite a simple practice. And particularly here in Santa Barbara, we have beautiful places for doing this practice. I'm not sure where you are. One I found very powerful is Figueroa Mountain, going up there. This is where open is, on the very top of the mountain, seeing the all around space, sky, all mountains below. Perfect, sky gazing practice place. But anywhere, wherever you are, when you go to the mountain, remember these teachings. Longchenpa mentioned this. You just sit, relax, and gaze into the sky. See what happens. This will generate some degree of no thought, or less thought, or less intense thought. And if one continue to practice, this definitely will generate the inner secret sky, the sky-like nature of mind's essence, empty essence. So this practice, actually, His Holiness Dujul Rinpoche said, not only you have to go to the Figueroa Mountain for me, the kind of thing, but anywhere, space, you just simply, gaze into that, even in a small room, space, in that space you gaze. Even in the nighttime, when you lay down gaze into the night, then, practice this. So these are the teachings. Very, very simple in some ways, very profound, of course, that which you can use so many places, easy, like that. Okay. Now the third aspect, it's called refinement. Refinement, okay. Right? Number 18. Then then undistracted, fix your gaze upon the sky. Now this is refinement practice. And in the state of mental clarity, where thoughts do not develop or dissolve, meditate, considering that the earth and stone, hills and rocky cracks, the universe and beings in their entirety become same as space and unimpeded openness. No center, no edges, right? You have no apprehension even of your body as a gross, real form, like that. Settle in the state where space and your own mind are indistinguishable. There's no recognition of an outer or an inner wall, or of something in between. And in that state of space, relax deep down your body and mind. And then what happened when that meditate? Memories and thoughts, all mental movements come naturally to rest. With no thoughts spreading and dissolving, the mind stays in its natural state, the ultimate condition of phenomena. And the mind, beyond all thoughts and words, are at that time not true. The realization similar to space now dawns. This is the essential nature of the concourse, past, present, and to come. Okay. Focusing awareness, just we talk about, has to do with simply, focusing more to one's awareness. This next one, refinement, we call jangba in Tibetan. Jangwa means something purifying. So this has to do with simply mingling with the sky, basically this whole phenomena that which provoke you, the thought, your body, your mind, the objects that which provoke your thoughts. Now, as one gazes into the sky, you mingle or dissolve that phenomena that which provoke you, the thought, become the space, the sky. Refine or jangba or purify these phenomena into the sky. So that is that's the practice. This material phenomena, this object to which I judge good and bad. I want that, I don't want this. All this dissolving into the sky-like nature, into the simply into the space. That is the practice. Okay. As you meditate like this, full experience will occur. All phenomena seems insubstantial, for you do not have a sense of gross materiality, and day and night you do not leave the state of no thought. Since the five poisons naturally subside, your mind still will be soft and gentle. You will taste the spacious nature of all things. So that's how no thought. In order to generate no thoughts, these three methods, right? First is propelling your thoughts into light, propelling that so it disappear into the sky. Second, simply focus on awareness, your awareness using the outer space, generating inner space, and then with that invoking the inner security space, the empty essence. Third, refinement has to do with simply dissolving everything that which gives rise to thoughts, including this body, all become empty, sky, space. So these are the practices. Okay. Okay, number 20, it is through training in this third technique of no thought, you will gain the power of visions and clairvoyance, concentration, and various other qualities. Through the union of skillful means and wisdom, calm abiding, and deep insight, you will gain for self and others, immediate objective, and the final goal. Okay, so that complete the main practice. Practice of bliss, practice of luminosity, and practice of no thought. So we don't have time to do the practice of no thought together, but idea here is quite simple. Teaching is quite simple. It's just depend on you practice or not. Okay. And then lastly, I want to say that when you do this practice, Longchenpa said, a preliminary practice is the most important, right? So, otherwise, can one effectively practice these main practices is questionable. So therefore, preliminary practices. In this case, how I was instructed is that as you do the Hondo practice involves everything, right? Include all the preliminaries. After your Guru Yoga practice, then, you engage in this practice. Okay? That's one thing you should know. After Guru Yoga practice, when one tries to abide in the nature of mind, different qualities, bliss, clarity, no thoughts. These techniques, if one use, be very, very powerful practice. And to keep in your mind. Those of you who practice Hondo. And to those of you who do not practice Hondo, I should say that at least 4 preliminaries. Here, Longchenpa talk about first preliminary, outer preliminary is reflecting on impermanent, right? With that, some inspirations to your Dhamma practice. Not just practice, but genuinely turning your mind toward Dhamma practice. Please do that. And then bodhicitta, why we do practice, is for the benefit of all sentient beings. That's outer 2 preliminaries. Inner 2 preliminaries, Longchenpa talked about the generation completion stages and Guru Yoga. Here, Guru Yoga, there's one simple form of Guru Yoga, which is, I think Shechen Jatsab. I saw that translation on Lotsawa House. There's simple Guru Yoga form of practice. Guru Yoga here, simply, visualizing Longchenpa, visualizing Longchenpa, and practice Guru Yoga. And after that, you do these techniques. It will be very, very powerful, Or, simply impermanent thoughts, turning your mind toward Dharma, generating bodhicitta, and then visualize Guru Rinpoche, do 7-line prayer, and recite Vajaguru mantra. And then main thing is receiving, we call empowerment, is most important. Here, receiving empowerment in Guru Yoga practice is, as many of you know, I'll briefly mention this. You visualize on the Guru's forehead. First you recite, for instance, if you do 7-line prayer, just 7-line prayer, and recite Vajaguru mantra with faith and devotions. You genuinely try to practice. And then at the end, you visualize from Guru's forehead, from letter A, Om, white rays of light emerge, dissolve into your forehead. With that, you think that you purify all the defilements of this body and settle body, channels, all defilements of the channels. Channels we talk about, all defilements that which support the ordinary phenomena, your channel all purify. It's very important, okay? Very, very important. And you think that your now channels ripens for the basis of Nirmanakaya state of Buddhahood. That. Second, from Guru's throat level, dissolve, red letter emerge, from R, red letters emerge, dissolve into your throat. With that, you purify all your settled body, wind or air, all purify. Speech, all purify, as well as settled form of speech, air purified, that we talk about. The air or wind that which carries this defilements, this impure air purified. And with that, you receive the blessings which makes this air within become the basis of Sambhogakaya state to attain. Okay. Third, Guru's heart level, deep blue rays of light from Hung letter Hung emerge, dissolve into your heart, purified thickly the essence, the bindu, all the basis of mind, all purify. This the basis of this negative mind, discursive thought, all defilements purified. With that, dissolve into, dissolve into your heart, thing like that. And with that, ripen to that, with which you can attain the state of Dhammakaya. Now your Tigle, your essence, become basis of attaining the Dhammakaya state. Like that. And then lastly, dissolve Guru into light, light dissolve into oneself. You become one with. And try to remain in that state however long you can. With that, and then one try to use these methods Longchenpa taught us. Okay, and then those of you who not really want to really go into deeper like this, and just practice this simply like when you go on a trip on the mountain, sky gazing, very profound. You use that. I hope you use that. It really gives you something very profound experience. So as well as other aspect of practice, you can do. Okay, but the result of the practice, as Longchenpa again and again said, in order to have a really profound impact to your meditation practice, preliminary practices are important. Okay, right? Okay. Now, I would like to, time is really running out, so I'll briefly, there's auspiciousness, I'll just go through if you have a pen, you make a note, so later on it'll be easier for you to go through. Number 21. Now these, from here on, are the concluding section of the main practice. Concluding section of the main practice. So concluding section of the main practice include 4 topics as discussed: experience, enhancement, realization, and fruit. These 4 aspects are concluding section of the main practice. Now experience, here Longchenpa details out, when one do these 3 practices, what can go wrong? Erring experience, erring belief practice, erring luminosity practice, erring no thought practice can go. So when that happens, how one these things can happen. So this is the teaching on number 22, right? Like that. What can go wrong? Number 23 is then what antidote you can apply when this occurs for the practitioner, real one who practice these three aspects and some obstacles when faced. Then how to correct those mistaken or wrong experiences, luminosity and no thought. So number 23, Longchenpa said, correct with 3, view, meditation, and conduct. Very, very important here. First, Longchenpa says, correct with view. What is important here? Because what goes wrong is when one have grasping mind, grasping to this experience of bliss, to this experience of luminosity, to this experience of no thought. When that happens, then goes wrong. So, what should happen? Invoke your view of Dzogpa Chenpo, view of essential nature of all empty essence, the view of Dzogpa Chenpo. That will cover everything. Rest, not that necessary. So true practitioner yogins, those who have realized their nature of mind, for them, no obstacles. All obstacles are corrected with a view of empty understanding, realization of nature of mind, like that. And then that is the first kind of persons correcting the wrong experiences, wrong practices. Mediocre practitioners will correct these when go wrong with meditations. So Longchenpa gives here a long list of how meditations on the, when things go wrong. So number 25 is the how when go wrong on the practice of bliss, how to correct. Number 26 is when go wrong on the practice of luminosity, how to correct. Number 27 is how correct the practice of no thought. Okay. And number 28, I'll just read. In general, it is crucial not to cling to anything. If you are without hope or fear, you are free from every obstacle. Very important, keep in mind. Resting in the limpid state, the luminous and empty nature of mind, where no discursive thoughts proliferate, then surely you are free from dangerous path of obstacles and flows to be abandoned. Okay. Number 29, the last persons, now not that smart ones, meditators, then he or she correct the mistaken practices with the application of threefold conduct, okay. Threefold conduct, now through ways of gazing is 1, and through material factor is 2, and through auspicious link is 3. And then through way of gazing, Longchenpa here simply gives 7 posture, Parachana meditation posture. So here, except breathing slowly, gazing a little bit more in addition to that 7 posture, but basically that's it. And then material factors, number 32, then material matters, the place for practice suited to the time of the year, of course, that matters. Companion matters. And your sustenance both food and drink matters. Adopt whichever helps experience. So with that, material factors. And then auspicious links. Auspicious links, Longchenpa talks about, like protection cord and some other auspicious substances to be used, like that. So these are the, for those practitioners who goes wrong with the practice of blissful, bliss practice. And then luminosity, and then no thought practice when go wrong, how to correct, explain. No. Okay. And then second is what? Enhancement. Enhancement. Now those practitioners now want to more enhance the practice of these three. And that number 35, how to enhance amazing instruction, how to enhance that blissful practice. Number 41, how to enhance the clarity practice. Number 44, how to enhance, go further, more deeper into the no thought practice. All this enhancement. Okay. Again, here important, number 46, here enhancement, talking about enhancement, general way of heightening and the concentration on bliss, on luminosity, on no thought, rests in the accumulation both of wisdom and merit. Accumulate merit, cleansing of all obscuration, the practice of the generation, perfection stages, the preliminary practices. And the most highly praised, profound part of the Guru Yoga. This instruction is supreme and ultimate. The fortunate who wish for liberation should earnestly embrace it. Okay, number 47 is now the realizations. What? Again, detailed teachings. Realization of what? All this practice, may it be bliss practice, luminosity practice, no thought practice, all has to do with the realization of natural mind. So come to this one. Number 51 is then the result of the practice. Temporary result like clairvoyance, power of visions. Ultimate result is, of course, then, enlightenment, and then Trikaya, enlightenment, and all the, purpose of others is fulfilled. Okay, so that's the main body of the practice. And now the last section, then dedication of merit. Number 1, through the merit of explaining this quintessential teaching, deep and vast, a way of practice that will lead to peace, may every being reach enlightenment, adorned with true sublime accumulations, enjoying endless reach of enlightened deeds, whereby to satisfy all wishes. Number 2 talks about where Longchenpa wrote this as a distillation of the essence of the crucial point of his own practice. Longchenpa, child of victorious one, for the sake of those to come, has well set down the lucid explanation of this on the slope of the Gangri Thökar, where he composed this. And then number 3, you who wish for liberation, be diligent in following my words. For thus you will perfect the two objectives according to immediate need and for the final goal, and swiftly gain contentment in the island of great bliss. Okay, so thank you.